Welcome to another episode of the Vitamin Chica. I have new episodes every week on health and wellness topics. Last week I spoke about some natural sweeteners, and we're going to be sticking with that same topic on natural sweeteners and talk about sugar alcohols. So, sugar alcohols are not a sugar and they're not an alcohol either. They actually have a similar molecular structure to sugar and alcohol, so they decided to name this whole group of sweeteners sugar alcohols. So, sugar alcohols are a carbohydrate and they occur naturally in small amounts in fruits and vegetables. So, when you buy it commercially or when there are products on the market that contain sugar alcohols, most of the time they extract the sugar and starches from natural fruits and vegetables, and then they go through a fermentation process that makes them identical to the sugar alcohols naturally occurring in fruits and vegetables. So that's why technically they are natural because they're extracted from natural fruits and vegetables, and then they go through a fermentation process so it's not chemically processed. And so sugar alcohols are a natural sweetener. One of the reasons that sugar alcohol is more popular these days is because it's about half the calories of regular sugar. The reason it's about half the calories is because sugar alcohols, when they go through our intestines, don't get completely absorbed. So we end up with fewer calories. Well, because they don't get completely absorbed in our intestines, that means if we eat too many sugar alcohols, we'll have some tummy issues like gas, diarrhea, or some bloating. Another reason why sugar alcohols are so popular is because it's a great alternative for diabetics. It doesn't give them that sugar spike and affects their blood glucose less significantly. So, there's different ways to find out how much sugar alcohol if your product contains sugar alcohol. If you know some of the names of the sugar alcohols, then you'll see them listed in the other ingredients, or you can see in the nutritional fact panel, just like this, right under the added sugar line, you'll have a line that says sugar alcohol and how many grams. So, I'm going to talk about four of the most common sugar alcohols. I'm going to talk about mannitol, sorbitol, xylitol, and isomalt. Now, let's get into these sugar alcohols. Mannitol is a sugar alcohol primarily made from sugar beets. And sugar beets are not the typical red beets that we think about. Sugar beets look like this. So, mannitol is about 50 to 60% as sweet as sugar and approximately 50% of the calories of sugar. It has sweetness, but it also has like a cooling effect to your mouth. It's used mostly with chewing gum or candy. They make chocolate coating out of it, fast dissolve tablets out of it. And just like all sugar alcohols, don't eat too much because you'll have some gastrointestinal issues. So for mannitol, it's about 20 grams max. And everyone's built differently, so just monitor how many grams of mannitol or other sugar alcohols you're taking in and then see where you fit. Sorbitol is a sugar alcohol primarily made from potato starch, and sorbitol is about 40% less sweet than sugar, and it contains about 65% of the calories of sugar. Another great thing about sorbitol is that it's great for your teeth. It prevents cavities. Sorbitol is usually used for cakes and cookies because of its smooth texture. Also, sorbitol has been used as a laxative if you're constipated. You take 7 to 14 grams per day and it can help you out. And the maximum amount of sorbitol you should take a day is 50 grams. So you shouldn't really go over that. Xylitol is a sugar alcohol primarily made from birchwood. It looks and tastes just like sugar, and it only has 5% less of the sweetness of sugar and 60% of the calories. It's been known to stop the bacteria in your mouth, so that means you have less plaque and less cavities. They've also studied that it helps reduce the amount of ear infections because the same bacteria that's in your mouth also kind of builds in your ears and causes certain types of ear infections. Similar to sorbitol, the maximum amount of xylitol you should have is about 50 grams. Isomalt is a sugar alcohol that's primarily made from sugar beets, similar to mannitol. Isomalt is about 40% the sweetness of sugar and about 40% its calories. Isomalt is used a lot in combination with high intense sweeteners like sucralose, ACE-K, or stevia. Because when you combine isomalt with these high intense sweeteners, it acts like a masking agent because high intense sweeteners usually have some type of aftertaste. Isomalt is also used a lot in baking. They like to make molds out of them because isomalt is really resistant to high heat, and also when you heat it up, it stays clear. So this is a cake that they made snowflakes out of isomalt. I thought this was really cool. They actually sell molds that you can make different molds with isomalt. I'll have links below for all the different sugar alcohols I talked about here today. Maybe you want to make some isomalt molds or bake something. If you like this episode, make sure you click that like button and share it with friends if you think they'll think it's interesting. I'm here every week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any other episodes. Next week, I'm going to be talking about some artificial sweeteners. And for today, that's it from me, the Vitamin Chica.